Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm new today, guys. I'm new. That is the price you pay for fame and glory. But we're here, and that's all that matters. Happy Thursday. You're listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 248. I think. Yep. Because we missed an episode. Angie's making me a smarter human. Hopefully I didn't mess it up and still ruin it. Tonight, we are going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but most of the stuff on the agenda is probably going to be making fun of classic people. And I don't feel bad, but it's going to be... I've had a lot of stuff that I haven't really said because the Twitters. I've just been retweeting funny stuff. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and 8.2 is on the horizon. It should be any time now, unless I miss news, and it was announced already. We should be in the realm of 8.2 time, which means flying. I have a flying list. We're going to talk about that. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
One of these days I'm going to get my act together. And I promise I'm going to fix that intro. That day isn't today, but it is going to be a day that we, do the things or something. I got to figure out why you're...
Why my...
Your thing was doing weird stuff. I try not to have an opinion, but... I try not to judge, really.
Opinion? What's that?
Yeah, like you don't really want to be super judgy.
What about super bitchy?
I mean, that's just me every day, so what's new? But, welcome back. If you're new to Pwnecast, I apologize in advance for the many ways that we are probably going to offend you. But you should know that I'm probably not sorry, and I'm okay with offending, and I strive to offend pretty much every show. So, just so that we get that out of the way, and I want to make sure that we're setting us up for success here with proper expectations. So, we're not really sorry. We're kind of sorry, but we're not really sorry. So there's that. And with me is my co-host Envy. We are missing a sauce who said he was going to be here and then isn't here, and I couldn't wait any longer to start the show.
Maybe we should call for a wellness check.
I feel like he's asleep.
Also a possibility.
Yeah.
Wellness check. Maybe he swallowed his tongue. We don't know.
Maybe his roommate's doing weird things to him while he's passed out. Like, I know one of his roommates, and it's not beyond the realm of possibility, if I'm being 100% honest. But he's been on during the day because I've been seeing him in-game. Normally I only see him on the weekends, but I'm assuming his schedule is daytime. I don't know. I'm sure he's told me, but look, I can barely get my own ducks in a row. Up until 2 seconds ago, I was actually still working. I had to bring the work laptop up here because I'm in the middle of things, and you know how life goes. So, Envy, welcome.
Thank you.
Side note, before we get started on the actual show, Envy and the missus will be here this weekend.
Why you gotta bring up negative shit?
That's a great thing.
Did you take my advice? Did you have your husband clean the house wearing an apron with frills? It had to have frills.
It's funny you mention that because, as with tradition, if you're new to the show, traditionally, we do have some real life stuff that we talk about because, guys, I don't know if you're aware, but this is real life, right? This isn't pretend. This isn't actually a video game. Like, there's adult responsibilities and things that need to be done. So this morning I did say, because we ordered a big, huge, I got a slightly bigger pool than what I originally ordered because they didn't have that one in stock. My husband wants to kill me, but prepping the backyard for it and for the sand, and I'm going to build a deck and all that stuff. But I have this big list and I'm working. I'm in the middle of a project and it's almost done. When I say it's almost done, it's not even close to being done, but it feels like I'm doing a lot. So I said to him, listen, I have a list of stuff that I need you to do before the weekend. So I need you to get it done because I am chained to my laptop because I have to get this done. Like Tuesday night, I worked until midnight, I think, was when I finally, my husband's like, you need to go to bed. Like, it's bedtime. Close your laptop, go to bed. So today he does two of the things, which is important to me, right? I want to make sure I acknowledge that. Then he comes to me and he's like, well, I got to go see your brother. I got to go do something with your brother. Okay, makes sense. And I'm like, you realize you have a lot of stuff to do, right? And tomorrow's the weekend. He's like, yeah, I won't be long. I go, I need you to do this stuff because I can't do it during the day. I have work. And he's like, no, don't worry. I'll take care of it. I get a call. Well, I don't get a call. I'm out on my back porch working. And my oldest son brings me my phone and says, Dad said, you got to go pick up the kids. Which is fine. They're my children. Why wouldn't I want to pick them up? Except at this point in the day, I have no bra on. I haven't showered. I brushed my teeth and changed my underwear, but that's as far as I've gotten in my day. I hadn't even eaten yet. So I have to stop working on what I'm doing to go pick up the kids. Now, mind you, he left in the a.m. and this is now 10 minutes to 3 p.m. So I called him on the phone because I didn't answer the phone because my phone was inside. I called him on the phone. I'm like, really? You've been gone all day. What about this list? And I got to stop what I'm doing because you are out dicking around on the other side of town. Then I got the traffic excuses, and I love him dearly. I can't even be mad about it. But it's funny you mention that because I would love at this point to add aprons with frills and...
Me too. You know what? If you want him to work that list while I'm there, no complaints from me. I'll get him the apron if I have to.
It's just
I'm not
tough.
gonna lie. I totally twerked my knee running downstairs. So I opted for the good stuff, and it's working.
Goodness gracious. Well, now you guys have that wonderful, story of the day of how awesome my life is. It's actually a pretty great life. I don't have any complaints. I mean, I have a lot of complaints, but I don't have any complaints. But let's talk about World of Warcraft. So, for May 28th weekly reset, the event is going to be Warlords of Draenor Time Walking.
I'm so excited for that.
Still weird that we are in a time where Warlords of Draenor is considered time walking. It feels like it just happened, but it didn't just happen. Like, it feels like it was a long time ago, but it also feels like, I don't know. Is that what happens when you get older? Things feel like they were just yesterday?
To be fair, yeah, we killed Archimond right about the time that I moved to Denver. And that was 5 years ago.
Archimond, man. That was before, I think, we could kill Heroic. I'm trying to remember. I think, yep, that was. And I'm pretty sure that I have there was a Mythic guild on my server. I don't know that they raid anymore, but I was friends with the GM. And I got some of my guys AOTC Archmon because I don't think we could do it in time. I'm not really sure what happened, but I remember going in and I'm like, okay, you're going to give it all you got because you're not going to embarrass yourself in front of these Mythic guys, right? So the GM's like, just go jump in the lava over there and die. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, just go jump in there and die. I'm like, no, I can help. He's like, no, just go jump in there and die. And I was like...
You got carried.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over here now and I'm going to jump in this puddle and be awesome in this deathly... I don't know if it was lava or ooze or it was something that killed you.
It was the green ooze.
Was it the green ooze? Yeah. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing, man. All the neighbors are watching me just chilling in this lava pool dead.
Like I told you, many a time we've raided together. There's a reason why I tell you just pick a corner to die in. And you refuse to do so.
I just want you to know that I know we hate to admit it, but I'll say 90% of the time I'm a pretty capable raider. There's that 10% where it's a combination of 5% is I'm hangry because I haven't eaten, which it's usually Mondays, but I've forgotten the last couple Monday raids. No,
Thank God.
Just this last one. I did the one before that, but yeah, I'm either hangry because I haven't had a chance to eat, and raid happens on Mondays like sometimes I'm still working, which is why I miss raid. And the other half is lack of patience, old age. I don't really know what you would call it. But I mean, we've been through a lot with the raid team. Even like we just got a bunch of good new people. You know, we got Ribs and Bean and your whole crew, which is nice. But we've lost a lot. Like even just the last 2 tiers of raiding, it's been so inconsistent with raiders that it's frustrating, not just for a raider, but you know, the raid lead as a group. It gets frustrating, and we're well into, you know, the next raid tier, which one could argue that it doesn't really count because there's only 2 bosses, but you know, we're still, how many bosses away are we from clearing heroic?
3. We got Mecha down to 20%, and then the derp hit in hard. And by derp, I mean we've been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah, usually like an hour and a half, 2 hours in on the same boss. It's like, I get progressively worse. Sometimes I get better, but for the most part, my attention span's it's really a struggle. But it's just crappy because like Sunday, it's 4:30 in the afternoon my time, which means like Sunday's the only day that I get to do things uninterrupted. So all of my to-do list, I have to stop what I'm doing to raid, which I don't mind, but and it's only an hour. You wouldn't think it'd be that big a deal, but then everybody works Monday, so like sometimes people just don't show up, and we have an issue with consistency, and it makes people grumpy, and it makes it really hard to finish content. So we're just gonna keep chugging away because that's what we do. Like eventually we'll have too many raiders. It always works out that way. I just want to go back to that.
You just need to introduce everybody to Bean Dip. Once they meet Bean Dip, they'll want to raid with us.
Yeah,
we'll build this man a legacy, I swear.
The legacy is probably not the legacy.
The greatest.
Yeah, it's probably not the legacy he's looking for. But yeah, I think we're taking a break for 2 weeks just because Envy's coming down here, and then
we are down to 2 of our good. I hate to say good healers, but 2 of our
consistent
healers.
Yeah, our consistent. I've been saying the word consistent lately as a means to not offend anyone at work, so I'm just gonna model that here because sometimes you have to be PC. But yeah, it's a struggle, but we're gonna keep chugging, and I have every confidence that we're gonna keep doing the things because that's what people do. So hopefully, I think a lot of it too is, you know, we lose people to real life, but you know, we also fall victim to the same thing I think everybody else does is, you know, people quit playing, and I understand why that happens because real life, or, you know, maybe they're bored with the expansion. Just because I think it's a great expansion doesn't mean everybody else does, and, you know, those kinds of things. It's a lot of stuff, but I feel pretty confident that we're going to, I think the break will be good. And we'll come back and we'll kill him. All of them.
Come back refreshed, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Hopefully, people are taking advantage of the downtime, and they're running their mythics. They're, you know, I ran mythics, but I couldn't get above a 6, so I got a 395 in my mythic cache, and it was very sad. It hurt my feelings because it was literally a waste of my fucking time, and whatever. But I did it.
I killed Mythic Champions today. It's super easy too. In fact, everybody should be doing it by now. It's like a simple Zerg method, pull the DPS, bam. I got 2 pieces of gear on my mage that I rarely play.
You did a mythic raid on your mage?
Mm-hmm.
Because your Raider IO score?
I don't even think they looked at it.
Yeah, I don't have the, like, I would like to be that guy that does mythic content, not in a race capacity or for any other reason other than I enjoy the strategy of a lot of fights, and there's some fights I just can't stand, but I don't have the time commitment. Like, after, literally by the time we're in our last hour of raiding, it's why I would almost, like, I wish we had a setup where we did, like, 3 days a week for 2 hours instead of, like, a 3-hour raid day. But the 3-hour raid day doesn't bother me. But usually by the last hour, like, inside my brain, there's a squirrel. And the squirrel's running in circles around a tree in my head.
I always pictured, like, one of those, like, monkeys with the...
No, there's no
symbols.
noise. It's a very quiet squirrel. Just goes and goes and goes, and I'm ready to go. I was going to do Mythic Pluses last night. Soft said he was going to do them, so I said, well, just let me know when you're ready. I was multitasking and working on DitchCon stuff, and I never got the message. Nobody ever wants to do Mythics with me, and it's okay. It doesn't even hurt my feelings.
You're never on.
Bullshit. I've been on all this week. Well, except for Tuesday night. Tuesday night I wasn't. Last night I was on pretty late, actually. I had to get off the computer because I needed to go to bed.
Were you on WoW or something else?
Yeah, I was in WoW. WoW was all I played yesterday.
Well, I wasn't on this week anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
Figures. Your wife was on. I don't know what she was running. She was running something. She was getting achievements or something. But
She does. But she do.
hopefully I'll get a 10 knocked out before reset.
It's pretty easy this week, too. The affixes aren't that bad. In fact, I did like a 10 under rot today. And I hate under rot. We didn't finish it, but I did one.
You
In
didn't.
time.
Oh, you didn't finish it in time, but you did finish it. That's all that counts. Doesn't really matter if you get the time. But
Also true. You should start playing Affliction. Just think of how much more damage you'd be doing.
Well,
On Mecha Torque, you'd be running. Boom, boom, boom.
here's the thing. I know that there's lots of Destro locks that are killing it in Mythic Pluses, so they're just going to have to just trust.
Gotta go
Honestly-
for the jugular there, but...
Honestly, it probably depends on the week, too. Like, if it's a week where I can't really AoE a lot, I'm not going to really help you because I'm in AoE anyway. Like, you're going to tell me to not, and I'm going to do it anyway because that's part of my rotation. Like, I have single target, but the bulk of my beefiness is AoE. So,
I mean, it's still not bad. But melee and hunters and other range, you're still going to be focusing stuff down.
yeah, people are
Just going to contribute to the chiseling away at their health. Like this week, especially, you don't want to kill everything at once, otherwise they're going to die hilariously to that dog. But you can still control your AoE.
Oh, I can 100% control my AoE. I just choose to do it. That's what I'm saying. If it's a week where I have to not, I'm going to keep doing it because it is what it is. Like, I have really good burst damage, but that takes time to ramp up. My AoE oftentimes is quick because I got the...
So what you're saying is I should have the aspirin next to the desk.
Well, I should probably look at some of the talents that other locks are doing to focus single target.
Have the aspirin next to the desk. My back's gonna hurt from all this carrying.
Like, I know what to do in single target, but I'm sure there's probably something else I could be taking advantage of as Destro for single target versus... Yeah, most of my stuff is set up for AoE. I have a few things that are single target, but... I mean, single target is honestly easier for me because I don't have to decide if I want to use a Chaos Bolt or you know, shards for my AoE stuff, because it's usually one or the other. I don't get both. Like, I can't AoE and use the shards, because it's like 3. I think it's like 3 for the Rain of Fire.
I don't Warlock.
And then it's 3 for a Chaos Bolt. I think it's still 3, unless it's changed without me knowing. But I have stuff like I'm really lucky with my my Azurite traits, because I get the ones that, like, the extra refund possibility of a shard when a thing does a thing, and crits and all that other stuff. So it makes it fruitful. Is that a word? Fruitful? That's a word? Fruitful. So go get your Mythic Pluses done. At least do your 10 so that you could get... What did you say? 415?
410.
410. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, if for anything, do it for the resident. You get that.
I was just gonna say
targeted.
that. See, I am smart. I was gonna say that. I've been doing that too, just because I feel like there's gonna be a time where the vendor's going to have something that is gonna be like must. Remember, Legion? There was that damn... What was that trinket everybody wanted to get?
I remember the one that I wanted from Ellison. God, I can't remember the name of it, but every Frost DK wanted it. Rogues.
I can't think of what the name... It was one all the casters wanted. Specifically mages and warlocks. But it was a trinket that was like a must-have. And it was one of those trinkets where even if you had the super low item level version, you still used it over... Was it the mage fuse? No. That's a different expansion. That's this expansion. I don't know. I can't think of what the name of it is. It'll come to me. It feels like it was a baton of some type. Trinket that had the word baton in it. I could be wrong, but I mean...
That's expected.
Yeah. 4 hotfixes. Mostly mythic stuff. Doesn't really affect me. I don't really give a shit. The mythic people probably don't even care, because most of mythic's already cleared. So, like...
I mean, there's that hope. Oh, there's that hope. We can make it.
Well, and it might have been the injector. It was a catalyst something, but I don't know if it was injector. It feels like it was called baton something. Damn, I can't think of the name of it. We're not going to see a lot of major hotfixes going out anyway, because any changes they're going to be doing will happen with 8.2 as per the usual. So, you know, we're going to see a lot of silence there. And here we are on the cusp of... So listen, guys. Let's talk about this classic situation.
You know you're excited. We all are.
So, Classic is announced as far as, like, what is it, August 27th being the release date. I have no idea. I'm working. I got no clue. I am going to the bathroom, and I'm looking at my phone, looking at Twitter, and I have all these DMs, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did I offend someone online? Like, what's going on? And it's a ton. Hey, are you going to play Classic? Are you going to play like all this stuff?
She is. She is.
So then I sit there and I'm laughing, right? I'm just laughing. If anybody knew me, they wouldn't even have to ask that question. Anybody that knows me or has even had a 5-minute conversation with me knows that it's just not going to be a thing. It's just not something I'm interested in.
We're going to guilt you into it.
I'm just not interested. I'm absolutely not interested. It's not something I want.
It's going to happen.
I don't care. Like, ugh. So.
It's going to happen. Regardless.
I begin individually responding like, nope, 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 thank you, but nope, nope, thank you, but nope. So halfway through, I decide I'm just going to mass tweet to people just so people know, like, this is great. It's cool. So, then beta comes out, right? Classic beta. Here's my DMs. Did you get beta? Did you get beta? What does it matter if I got beta? What does it matter? The problem with getting beta is I have to play it. That's the problem with getting beta. I don't want to be one of those assholes that gets beta to something and doesn't put feedback in. However, what feedback do I put in? Fuck this game? Like, what do you want from me? Here's my feedback. Go play live. That's my feedback.
You know what I thought was hilarious? You posted it on
I'm
Twitter.
about to talk about that.
Go for it.
Because I'm going to ask you your favorite one. So pull up your favorite one, because that's going to be one of my first questions. So to answer everybody's question, yes, I did get beta. No, I haven't installed it. I'm going to, because I respect the work that Blizzard does, and I think not doing a thing is shitty. I don't really care about improving classic gameplay by doing beta, so I feel like it isn't that big of a deal, because what is there to improve on? You can't do improvements. Everybody wanted classic. What's to improve? They're not going to improve systems. They're not going to fix shit. Speaking of not fixing shit, so in my random Twitterness, Wowhead tweets this thing from Blizzard about bugs that are being reported that aren't necessarily bugs, right? Now, I want to read... Hold on. Let me find... Damn it. I thought I had it up here. Where is it? Where is it? So anyway, the gist of this is they highlighted all the things that people have been putting in as things not working as expected, as bugs, like all of this stuff, right? I'm super happy that people are doing what they need to do there. I think it's great that people are putting in feedback. Again, I don't know what you have to put in feedback for. It's classic. They're not gonna develop it, guys. They're not gonna redo the visual engine. They're not gonna update graphics. They're not gonna fix the fucking square, flat, triangle trees. They're gonna fix that shit. That's you getting it just the way you wanted it. Classic. So anyway, so my favorite thing is what in the very beginnings, the nature of classic sometimes invokes different memories for different players and leads to certain misconceptions for some about what is or isn't working as intended. Now, this was probably my favorite sentence in the entire world, because what they're basically saying is what they said when everybody was playing private servers. You might think you own it, but you don't. You might think you remember, and your memory is... The longer in between a memory, the better it is, right? Because our ability to recall kind of sugarcoats. That's why, like, if you go 5 or 6 years without speaking to somebody, you can't really remember, like, oh yeah, it wasn't so bad, when really you probably wanted to set them on fire. But our recall isn't what we think it is. And everything was awesome in certain time periods. And when you compare 2 periods of time to one you preferred, that one's always going to be the one that is covered in beautiful flowers and decorations and frosting. My absolute favorite. Are you guys ready? Oh, don't let me forget, I owe a Style Boy song. Hold on. Oh, my dang thing's not on. I forgot to turn it on. So while I'm loading up the Stream Deck so I can play the Style Boys song. Quest objectives and points of interest are not tracked on the map or the mini-map. Guys, I laughed for a good 10 minutes. I literally just sat there and laughed for a good 10 minutes. It was probably kind of awkward because it was in my bathroom. My husband probably felt some type of way about it. that was absolutely laugh out loud worthy, because how precious was this person who said the quests are not being tracked on the map? How precious are you, honey?
My favorite's the creature respawn rates are much slower. Like, oh, you guys are in for a treat.
Like, do you remember having to wait? And if somebody else was doing the same quest as you?
It's not shared. They beat you through that board. You're just...
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
either one of you were faster, or, like, you might as well wait and do that shit at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, because you're never going to be able to finish that damn quest, because you need fucking 50 basilisk kills to get fucking 5 basilisk eyes. Well, you still need that today. Like, that's no different.
Oh, I can't wait for the quest in, I think it's Syrian Gorge, where you have to kill, like, 70 dragons.
Yeah, it's a lot
Or
of
maybe it was
dragons.
whelps.
Many whelps
Yeah.
handle it. So, yeah, you need to go do a different quest, because you're never going to get that shit done. And if you are leveling your weapon skills, specific for me with staffs, right? Here I am in Red Ridge Mountains,
Killing boars.
killing fucking boars with a goddamn stick. Because spells don't level it. Well, unless my memory's off. I don't recall. I'm pretty sure I had to hit shit. What are you doing today? You want to go hang out? Nope, sorry, I gotta stab shit with a stick. Because it's gonna take me a month to get a level. Because I gotta stab shit with sticks.
There was a NPC, actually there was a mob out in God, where the Dark Portal's at. I don't remember the name of the map. But there was a mob out there that was invincible, and he wouldn't attack you, but he was a mob of level like 60 and whatnot. And you could attack it and attack it all you want, and it wouldn't attack. But your weapon skill would go up.
Exactly. Because you did. You had to level that bitch.
It's nostalgic already.
Not
in a good way.
Quests that are too low level do not show up as an exclamation point in Game World. No, they don't! That's literally barely a feature we got in...
Cataclysm, I think.
Maybe. I don't recall it till Miss. I don't remember it in Kata.
I think. I don't know.
I
It's
don't remember it
definitely
in
either
Kata.
one or the other.
Now. Hold on. There's another one. There was the fear one was my favorite. There's actually two different. There's
the fears that run for like days.
Yeah,
and
there
fast.
was two. There was feared players and NPCs run fast, and the fear doesn't break. Let me take you guys on a stroll down memory lane to a little place that I like to call Miss Pandaria. So I guess for me, Miss Pandaria is my classic, right? That's my happy place when I think in my brain of everything that I loved about all the things was Miss Pandaria. If I could get Blizzard to hone in on that Miss Pandaria and spread that to the next couple expansions, my life will be pretty fucking fantastic. But I want to take you back to all the salt on the World of Warcraft forums. All the salt. Because the Warlock Sphere was for days, and it's always been breakable by damage, right? But it usually took a lot to break it. Fuck, now I fear, and I don't even know that I feared them, because if somebody else is hitting them at the same time I'm fearing, that shit's already broken like 0.2 seconds after. Guys, the fear is normal. It's the reason people hated classes with fear. Because I could fear you into next week, literally. I used to be... My whole fear and 2 Chaos Bolts thing was a serious business thing, and it was actually legitimate. I can't do that that much anymore because of my fear breaks, but it was pretty... If you were going up against a class of fear and you didn't have a trinket or you didn't have a way to get out of it, it's pretty logical to assume you're going to die in a fear. How precious are these people on... Oh, it's just so precious. Standing on top of other players while facing away allows spells and attacks to be used. Welcome. Welcome. You know what you're going to be excited about, though? You're going to be excited about talent trees, right? You're going to be excited about all the things that were removed.
Good specs.
So... This, seriously, like, every time I look at this list, it's hysterical to me. Because these poor guys just have no idea what they're in for. So... Here's the good news, and let me tell you what's going to be great about this classic situation. Not only do players that really want the experience of going back and remembering better times, right? Players who are new, who didn't get to see somewhat of the origins, right? I mean, Warcraft was the origins, but, you know, they got to see what brought people really to this world. They get to experience that. That's really nice. I would like my husband to go through Classic, if I'm being 100% honest. I'd like him to be able to just see, you know. But really what this does in the long run is it brings a lot of perspective. It allows you to really focus on the things that you really miss, so that when you're ranting on Twitter about things that piss you off, it's legitimate, right? Because you've went back and you do remember certain systems or certain things that were really great. And it allows us to be able to constructively try to continue to help shape the direction our game goes in. Not that we're listened to very often, but I mean, a lot of voices are loud. And voices together that, you know, if there's a ginormous group of people that all have the same thought process about a thing, you're pretty sure it's going to be done, because that's, you know, strength in numbers. But I think it does help, as a player, just get perspective of things so that you have an accurate memory. Because that really is true. Like, there's games that I haven't played for a long time, and I'll say that those are the best games ever. And I'm like, what?
You tried going back to GoldenEye recently? That's horrible.
You know, that was like one of my favorite games, right? But I can't deal with the blockheads anymore. Like, going back to that life of it just being like this malformed, like, walking turd with no, like, face or anything. It was just pixels. I can't imagine going back and living that life. The only one that I stand is the older Resident Evils. Because I'm an enthusiast when it comes to Resident Evil. So, like, those I can handle all the super old stuff. But to be perfectly honest, like, Resident Evil was a little bit ahead of its time visually anyway. Well, I think. You figure what the first one was on 64? Or was it PlayStation? I'm pretty sure it was 64.
PlayStation 1.
I don't remember having a PlayStation 1 at this time period in my life.
Resident Evil 2 was on the 64.
Oh, it was probably Resident Evil 2 that I played first, and then I think I went back and played 1. I think I played 1 on an emulator. But Resident Evil 2 was the first one I ever played. It was a director's cut.
No, then you're playing Resident Evil 1.
What? No? Oh, maybe 1 was on 64.
Wait.
Fuck, I don't even remember.
I don't know that it was, but I know the director's cut was on PlayStation 1.
The only one I remember is Code Veronica was only on Dreamcast. You had to buy, like, I bought the Dreamcast specifically for Code Veronica.
Should have just waited 2 years.
I know, right? But Code Veronica was really good. So I'm really happy that I did. And then I think I ended up, like, selling the Dreamcast because that was literally the only reason I purchased it was for Code Veronica. But I'm a completionist with stories, so I really needed to see what Claire was up to and that whole Umbrella compound. And Alexa and Alfred Ashford and that whole creep. Not you. This bitch, man. She always thinks it's about her.
I mean, you said her name.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm missing comments, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so Classic's gonna be great. Let me tell you what I was thinking about. So I read
We Smell Burning.
Right. I read an article about they had interviewed the devs and they had talked about the potential for other types of servers. Like a Kata server, a Wrath of the Lich King server. Because I missed a good portion of Kata, I'd like to check that out. It wouldn't be something I would play forever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to play it forever. But I would go back. I stopped playing in the last questing zone I was in was Dragonblight. And I logged in 6 months later after my everything. When I logged in Kata, everything was different. This was before I was news savvy and didn't really know how to prep for expansions and that kind of thing. And the Warlock was different and all this stuff. And I'm like, fuck this shit. But Dragonblight, that's how much it is burned in my memory when I actually quit playing, was I remember being in Dragonblight. And I logged back in and was like, I don't know what to do here. But I don't know that I would, like, Wrath of the Lich King is another one that I would like to play through, because my memory of Wrath of the Lich King was I didn't love the game yet. I loved it, but I didn't love it. You know what I mean? Where you get that, you know, where it becomes just a part of your routine. It wasn't until Mists of Pandaria, probably, if I had to guess. And it was just because that was when I started paying attention to things and I started taking a deeper interest and all that kind of thing. But I would like to do that. I would like to go.
It's a fun experience.
Yeah, like, do I want Blizzard to throw a ton of money to have servers up? Not really. You know, like, that's not really my jam. Maybe they could have a server that they swap, right? Where, like, every 3 months you get Kata, then you get Wrath, then I don't know. I don't really know there. But do I really want them to throw a ton of fucking money to have other servers? No, I'd rather have them throw money at the game and develop it properly. I need them to go back to when they pull their forum metrics, right? Find the year where there was the least complaints. That's your starting point for what you need to fucking fix. Because sometimes you have to go back. Like, I know they're notorious for not wanting to revert anything that they do, because it's like when they wrongly accuse and convict someone, right? You got to do this, like, fucked up plea. Yeah, you gotta do this fucked up plea where, like, you're not admitting that you did it, but you're also not admitting that you didn't do it, and, like, you're making it where the government or the state doesn't have to say that they were wrong. I get it. It's hard to be wrong. Sometimes when I'm wrong, I still say I'm right because I don't want to be wrong. And I admit that. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, I never do that. Oh, no, I always do that. I'll argue till the bitter end because that's how I roll. But nobody likes to say, like, we screwed up. We made these changes. It's like with PvP. They're still... If they would have just done what everybody asked 2 expansions ago, when at the end of Warlords of Draenor we were begging, can you please just put it back the way that it was? Because the way that you improved it wasn't an improvement. Then they've made leaps and bounds. There's no complaint there. It still isn't what it was. They still haven't been able to inspire. Because that's what's missing. The story's good. For the most part, the content's good. They're missing the inspiration, the drive, the focus for players. In taking so much away because they're trying to simplify, they take away the core of what World of Warcraft is. Sometimes it's complicated, and it fucking should be.
I mean, it's always going to be complicated because you're trying to cater to 2 different types of people. hardcore and the not so hardcore. LFR for the not so hardcore. Mythics for everybody else. And it's difficult to please both parties.
It's true. But I wonder how many people, like, I still see people who, even myself, I sometimes I gotta get in where I can, and I play at really weird hours because it's the time when like last night, we're talking 4 or 5, I think it was almost 6.5 hours. Got a lot of shit accomplished, pretty happy with myself. But I don't know when I'm gonna get that time window again, like, not mentally to be doing things, you know, but I think I just want to see, I want to see what they're doing with all this money that they've saved by switching to Geico, because I'm all for them developing new games and stuff like that. Like, that's perfect. That's great. I want you to keep developing, even if it means mobile games, fuckers, before all you start crying about mobile.
So you're excited for Diablo 2, huh?
I demoed it at BlizzCon and I was quite impressed with on the phone. Like, I was pretty impressed with what I saw so far, and I'm not really, you know, I've played Diablo, I've played during seasons and stuff like that, but we'll see where they take it. I just want to see them fix it. That's what I want. I want to see them fix what's broken, because it's broken. The game isn't broken. The inspiration. So I'm hoping that all this classic stuff spins them in that direction. And that was really the moral of this entire long story is, while I'm going to laugh at classic people when they say dumb shit on the internet, because it just is what it is. While I don't think Classic is going to be the messiah and savior of World of Warcraft, I do believe that Thrall is going to be the messiah and savior of World of Warcraft, because that motherfucker is buff. Buff. That cinematic had me in my bathroom, because I do most of the stuff while I'm in the potty, right? Because I work during the day. I even shed a little goddamn tear, and I'm mad at Thrall because he's disappeared.
You know, we were having a discussion about this at work, coworkers and I, and we believe that Blizzard should totally get into, like, the movie game. Just CGI their own movie. If they could redo Warcraft, and I know you loved it, but if they could redo Warcraft and make it better, I'm sure they would strive to. And I'm not saying Warcraft was bad, it's just, it's for a different type of person.
I mean, it was made for fans. There was a fan made movie. There wasn't when you can't slowly tell, like, you can't quickly tell the story of World of Warcraft, right? It isn't something that in, you know, when someone says, "Well, tell me about World of Warcraft." You really can't. Let me link you this YouTube video and this article and this article and read this book and this book and this book and this book and this book. It isn't something that you could give somebody a quick explanation.
Fair, but you could build up to it. Lord of the Rings did.
Agreed. I think they knew they had one shot. And I think in that one shot, they tried to throw everything in there to excite people. And I get it. And I think that that's great. Creatively, I would have went in a different direction. I would have picked a more compelling story to tell besides that one. Not that it wasn't, you know, the orcs are, that's a big orcs versus humans, like, that's a part of our history in World of Warcraft, but it wouldn't be the story that I would choose to lead with. That isn't the story that I would capture, you know, billions of people across the world who had probably never heard of World of Warcraft. That would not be the story I would have chosen. I don't know if I could have the job of choosing the story, right? I don't know. But yes, I agree. I think had it have done properly, I think it would have been a good. They could have done a Lord of the Rings thing where they phased it out, and they could have done a really good job. I mean, Lord of the Rings. Then you got the Hobbits. Like, they killed it, man. They absolutely killed it. Every single one of them was just as good as the one before, and that's what made it great. And It's probably also because I read the books, but whatever. Who knows? Like, it's weird to me that why haven't they? How come there isn't another studio that's wanted to pick up the story?
Who knows? Netflix might, actually.
With all the movies they make from video games that are pretty popular.
Yeah, there's a Doom movie coming out. I really don't want to talk about it, but Netflix will probably pick it up.
Who's playing Duke?
Doom.
Right, but who's playing?
Oh.
Does it not have Nukem or no?
Nope.
What do you mean?
It's the wrong game, sweetheart.
What am I thinking of?
Duke Nukem.
Is he not the main character in Doom?
Nope.
I don't fucking know.
Because you're a heathen.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of the old Doom. I don't fucking know. So who's in Doom?
I don't know. The trailer looks stupid. I'm disowning it.
Oh. I don't know if I'm.
Duke.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. Who Duke Nukem is? Maybe I'm thinking of a fucking comic. I don't know.
It's a video game character.
Well,
you're right.
The last Doom
Kills pigs.
The last Doom I played, alien ship, something, shooting from the bottom to get through the top, something, running around hiding from these motherfuckers, and giant tin buildings, and
Man, I'm lost.
it was 64. Pretty sure it was 64. Because I'm pretty sure I played it on, like, the emulated version of 64s. I played a lot of older 64 games. Well, I mean, every movie could potentially be great if you pick the right people. Now, I'll give you...
Martin Scorsese.
Well, I mean, the eyebrows, right? They make it good. Here's the thing. So, I'm a comic buff, right? Marvel knocked it out of the park pretty much with every single throw was literally a fucking home run. Then you have the other side of the coin, which I'm not just about Marvel. I'm also a DC girl, and my actual all-time favorite superhero is Superman. They couldn't rub two fucking Supermans together to get it right after Christopher Reeves. Now, Henry Cavill, he did an okay job, except he was saddled to Ben Affleck in that whole sordid affair, right? Like, he was fantastic, whatever, but they always struggle with the duality in a role, right? Superheroes have a duality, most of them do, and they can usually get one right, but not the other. They finally hit a home run with Spider-Man, I think. I don't know, I feel like he's really funny, so it makes me forget the fact that he isn't really what he kind of should be for Peter Parker, but he's younger, so I'm trying to, like, throw that out the window. But, like, Tobey Maguire, he was a great Peter Parker. He was a shitty Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, he was a shitty Peter Parker, but he was a great Spider-Man. How hard is it to find somebody who can handle a dual role? Now, Batman's, we've had, Michael Keaton, he's probably the one that everybody compares to, right?
I'm going to say Kevin Conroy, but that's my opinion.
I wouldn't disagree there. But then you have people who are like, Val Kilmer was the best Batman. What? Wait, what?
You don't care for those bat nipples?
What do you mean Val Kilmer was the best Batman? How high were you when you were watching it? No. Not the best Batman.
George Clooney was.
I liked George Clooney as Bruce Wayne because George Clooney has that, it isn't an arrogance, it's a confidence.
Charisma.
It's just like, you like him. You want to be in the same room as him because he's that guy.
Charisma.
I like Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne. I thought he played an excellent Bruce Wayne. The Batman wasn't terrible. I couldn't, the voice, man, like, it wasn't terrible. He did well. He was probably my favorite one of all of them, if I'm being 100% honest. So, Brandon Roush, why was he even Superman? Because he looked like Clark Kent? Get this fucking guy off the screen. Who gave him that movie contract and who did he have to sleep with?
Remember watching Ted? Patrick Stewart just breaking up.
Yeah.
That was great. I love
And
Patrick Stewart.
we're in the realm now where they're doing the younger generations, right? And if a movie studio's smart, they'll be able to carry that. Like, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, he's got many years before he's going to need to check out, right? Like, we're good. If World of Warcraft could follow that same model, maybe go Marvel way, not DC way, because they don't know the way, because that shit's fucked up. And, not World of Warcraft related, but why did I find out that they cast a Twilight guy as the younger Batman? What?
You don't want to see Sparkles Batman?
Some people are typecast, right? They're in that role, and it's that role you will always remember him as. Always. I can't imagine that I'm going to be any happier about him playing Batman than I was Ben Affleck. Now, again, everybody, we fight about this because a lot of people are like, he was a great Batman. I'm sure he was. He played a specific moment in Batman's life that was part of the comic, and I appreciate that. And it was an important story to tell. I don't think Ben Affleck was the one to tell that story, but...
Well, you remember all the hate that the studio got when Heath Ledger was casted for the Joker. Nobody thought that was a great decision. And here he was, just... He killed that performance.
He really did.
So... I'm just, gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
He really did. And I was looking at images of that specific Joker. Because, there's like 10 different versions of Joker.
I'm actually excited for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. Because he's another method actor that I think can really bring that character to...
He plays crazy really well.
He does. He really does.
Yeah. He plays crazy really well. And not for nothing, like, Jared Leto played that version of Joker very well. He got a lot of heat, but most of the heat that he got are from people who didn't read the comics and who don't know that there's literally 6 different types of Joker. Depending on what year we're talking about, there's different personalities of Joker. He played a specific personality of Joker, and I think he did a fantastic... He kind of creeped me out, I'm not going to lie. But I think he did a really good job. And what's her name? Margot Robbie was smoking hot as Harley Quinn. Like, if all the women in the world could look like her, that'd be great. And she plays crazy really well. Like, I would follow that bitch off a cliff. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you watch that movie where she was once... What the hell's her name? She was that ice skater that, like, took out that one chick's name.
Yeah, she did a really good Tanya Harding, too.
Thank you, Tanya Harding.
There's another movie that she's in with, she's got a twin sister. And it's like this fucked up movie. You don't really figure it out until the end. And, I don't want to, if nobody's seen it, but you should find it. I don't know what it's called, but it's a really good movie. It was a random watch at, 2 in the morning. And I wasn't disappointed because she plays Psycho really well. But I agree. I think Jack Nicholson did play a good Joker. So if we could get... I haven't seen her as Queen Elizabeth I. That, you're going up against royalty, literally, like movie royalty. It's really hard for you to beat my vision of the original Queen. So, you can't come with some bullshit trying to be the Queen of England, because that's my favorite time period to watch and read. So, I'm going to need you to be better than Kate, because Kate killed it, man. She's literally forever ingrained in my memory as the Queen. But if they could do that with World of Warcraft, I think we would have who would you have play? Like, this is a fun thing to do. Like
Daniel Day-Lewis for Kadgar, or even Medivh.
I would say Jeremy Irons for Kadgar. Am I the only one that would think that?
Actually, I could totally see that.
I really like Jeremy Irons, though, because he's very authoritative. Like, if you could just pretend you don't know he's Scar from Lion King, like, he has that authoritative, like, air about him. I picture, who's that? I can't think of who's Sylvanas' wingman? I can't think of his fucking name.
Nathanos.
I picture, like, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right? Who do you cast as Sylvanas?
Would it be too much to like typecast freaking Emilia Clarke for it?
Ooh, maybe.
Actually, Lena Headey, because she can play bitch real good.
Yeah, you need like, I'm working on the graphics, right, for the sketches so I can launch the Kickstarter. And when I was explaining to the artist, Sylvanas, I'm like, she's got this smirk that isn't a normal smirk. It's I can't explain it. You have to just look. And it's this smirk that she has where she just knows she's got you. But it isn't like anything that I could describe, so I had to like send a bunch of stuff because I wanted him to. 3 months up. Hold on, I owe like 3 donkey rolls, but we're just gonna do 1. For everyone. Because I want
Donkey roll.
I forgot. I'm a terrible person.
Donkey roll.
Meanwhile, I'm like all high up here, letting you do all the work.
Who
'Cause I'm
would
feeling
we
really good.
who would we so we've got, what story would you tell? What would be the story? Like, let's pretend I'm a movie studio exec and I'm like, I want to tell World of Warcraft story. We're gonna have to do this shit in a series of movies. What would be the intro backbone story would you tell to, because remember, the hook is where you have to grab them, right? You get them with the first one where they get attached to the characters. You have to think about this from not a game perspective either, because we had to pretend like these are normal humans who have never seen this game before in their life, so they don't have that emotional connection. What would be the story?
Well, the assumption is that you're going to have some prequels going into it. So, the fans, the fans would definitely want Wrath. I think it would make more sense to start at BC. Because that's when you have your first real threat. Well, that's not fair to say to
An actual villain.
Cthulhu or Onyxia, but
a
you have
legitimate villain.
Right. And you have that leads into the Sunwell, and yeah.
And also opens it up for the prequel to tell the backstory of things that
and,
usually comes in like the third or fourth movie where you get kind of an origin story of sense.
Then you get like the epic sequel that everybody, the sequel always does better than the movie that came before it, Wrath. Because you could, if I were the director, and this is fun actually, you could like build it into the story, like, oh, the Lich King saw that the forces of the Eastern Kingdoms in Kalimdor are weakened because they were busy dealing with Illidan's fake ass, and then look the events of the Sunwell. Illidan's gonna be like, or Lich King, boom, invasion. That leads into your sequel. Play it like the expansions. Because you're going to tell so much with just vanilla. That would require at least 2 to 3 movies.
Well, and I don't think we would talk about Miss Pandaria much in a movie. If I were doing a movie, I would do like a side. You know how like in Tokyo Drift, there was a small mention of what's his fuck. And that was it, right? It would be something like that, where there would just be like you know, a little thing dropped about, you know, we went to help the pandas and, you know, we brought death and all that stuff, which we typically do. We bring death where we go. But I think it would be like, they would need, like, why hasn't, like, Marvel, you guys are smart. Who owns Marvel? Disney. They're fucking buying everything left and right. Go talk to Blizzard and make some fucking movies, because say what you want.
That's a good one. Ewok Christmas Adventure.
There could be like little side tales where like maybe it gets picked up as a Netflix series and it's like the tales of fucking Topper McNabb. Like, who is this dude and how many wives did he really have? Like,
it would be like the Winter Soldier and Falcon thing on Disney Plus.
Exactly. There's so much potential. I need some business suit with money to see some potential here, because you're missing an opportunity. Now that we don't have some of the things in play at Blizzard that we had previously, such as Control Freaks, for a reason, like I'm not insulting before anybody freaks out. But I think, you know, I think Chris Metzen was the perfect person on that project. But I think it was a big undertaking. He's super inside the World of Warcraft bubble, right? Like, he's super inside. So I don't know when they chose, you know, how they went about that. What did they talk about in terms of how do you introduce World of Warcraft to people who have never seen it? They kind of chose, I think, what they thought was the beginning of the story, because the orc versus humans, right? But that isn't the beginning of the story. I think had it have been somebody else, it wouldn't have been what it was, but it also could have potentially opened it up to be better. I'm not saying he hindered the movie. He did a great job with, you know, him being the consultant and all of that, but I feel like sometimes you're too inside something. And with Mike Morhaime being the way that he was with Blizzard in terms of control, which is a great thing, guys, mind you, this is a great thing, I don't know that it allowed people to have that potential to expand. I don't know. But now that we got to play Who Would You Cast, tell me who you guys would cast. Give me some main characters and tell me who you would cast to play them. Like, who would we cast to, like, maybe I would have, I'm thinking actually, maybe Dwayne The Rock Johnson would play, like, Sargeras, or I don't know, one of the other big ginormous guys. Tell me who you would have play what. Send me comments on the show. Give me a list of actors and who you would have them play in the story of World of Warcraft. Let's pretend that we are going to make a movie. And if you guys are interested in making a movie and not that kind of movie, weirdos,
sorry,
let's do it. Let's get together.
Oh my. I'm going to go ahead and throw out my first suggestion. Sean Bean as Lane Rin, because he's going to die.
Yeah. Poor
You got to have
Lane.
Sean Bean in there somewhere.
Who would we have play? Who would we have play Anduin and his dad, for that matter? Sean Connery would play Gen. Even though he doesn't have an accent, or, you know, Gen doesn't have an accent, but I think Sean Connery could do a really good Gen.
If he's still alive by that time.
That motherfucker's never gonna die.
No, that's Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Josh Brolin. I don't know if I would have Josh Brolin be Thrall. Maybe. He would definitely, if he isn't Thrall, he would definitely be on Titan Proportions. Like, I could see him playing one of the, like, you know, who's the other? What do we got? Who's the, I can't fucking think.
I would say Sarfing, to be honest. Elder Sarfing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Josh Brolin, he's in his 50s, for one, and two, not that it matters with CGI. Two, his voice just has that, like, battle scar torn voice, but he, like, has a lot of, like, wisdom, as you can see with Thanos. Like, Thanos was crazy as hell, but he was charming at the same time.
But I mean, his thought process, he wasn't wrong. I said that from the very first time he started monologuing in Infinity Wars. He isn't wrong. His thought process was fucked up, and that is not the way to do it, but he isn't wrong. He wasn't wrong, and his fear and worry of the future, though it was crazy, he wasn't wrong. Sometimes you have to reset. I'm not saying we should do that, guys. I'm just saying, like, I can't say that I don't think there's going to come a point that sometime in our world we're going to have to reset. Maybe it's going to do it organically, right? Maybe there's going to be a civil war or world war or something, but it is the nature of things to reset because it is what it is. However that chooses to be, sometimes nature takes care of it on its own, but I'm saying he's not wrong.
I think we're like, what, overdue for a major plague?
Probably. Oh! Peter Dinklage would be a great gnome! Oh!
Now that's definitely a typecast.
Oh, yes, he really would, just because, like, not just because he's a midget, right? But because he's, you know, he can do things.
That term is fancy.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Who would we have? You know who I would have play? I would probably have Kate Hudson play Jaina. She needs more boob, though. Kate Hudson, she's gorgeous, but she doesn't have a lot of boob. But Kate Hudson she does funny hilariously, but she also does serious pretty well. And I think she plays a really good pained person. And I would throw Jennifer Garner somewhere in the mix because I love her to fucking pieces. She should be, I don't know, she would be like probably a rogue type character if I were to. I know everybody sees her as a goody two-shoes, but I think she would play a really good. I also watched her when she was on Alias, so I think she'd play like a really good rogue.
Kate Blanchett would be a bad choice.
Oh, yeah.
Although she is older, but she looked amazing in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's one of my favorite actresses in general, to be perfectly honest. There isn't a thing. I'd like to throw Charlize Theron in there, too. And I think she should play. Maybe she would play Catherine Proudmoore. Or another old white lady in World of Warcraft.
Nah. Catherine Proudmoore. We give that title to, what's her name? Judi Dench. The ultra hot Judi Dench.
Judi Dench should be playing the chick who would play Lady Ashbane.
No, give that one to.
She's hilarious. She's been in a few movies, and
Kathy Bates.
No, but Kathy Bates is great for many roles. I would probably put her as Gen too. Like, she's a tough broad. Angelina Jolie I can see as one of the Windrunners. I could see that. She's getting old, man. All these guys that I worshipped are now just aging, and it's great because so am I. Like, we are together. So make sure you comment on the show. Tell me who you would have play whatever characters. It could be just a random, like maybe you pick a random peon and you want somebody to play him. Comment on the show and give me your list. Maybe the people that crawl the internet that look for certain keywords will get some inspiration based off this conversation, and maybe we could get a conversation going. In terms of classic, we're going to see how this develops, and my hope is to one day log into Twitter and not see nothing but classic in my newsfeed. That'd be swell. I can't even mute it. Because what do you mute? You can mute the word classic, but that's like half of the fucking things in the world. And my hope is that it's used as a tool to inspire what we got going on now, because it's a good thing. Now, let's talk about the stuff that really matters. The 15th anniversary collection of World of Warcraft. It's out for pre-order.
Ish.
Kind of. Here's the thing. I don't know. Somehow, I'm on... This is how bad the troll is for Classic. I'm on Wowhead, and it's on Classic. Instead of the live. What the fuck? Why is that my default? I literally have a login, and I have Wowhead Premium. Are you kidding me?
Check your text messages.
And before anybody says it, no, I don't give Wowhead money for their premium. I was comped premium because I use it for content creation, but... Well, I got a text message. Guys, he texted me in the middle of the show. Did you get beta? No, I did not get beta. I did, but no. I got an email about Red Dead. So, that was crazy to me that it was on... if you got invited to the stress test, I recommend going and doing it. It's not the real beta, so don't get too excited. Can they maybe post this Classic shit not on stuff? Seriously, like, Wowhead's got to get this shit under fucking control. I can't deal with all this. But
You could just install ad blocker.
I don't have ads on Wowhead at all. It isn't ads. It's...
I thought you were getting trolled with the 15th anniversary. So you're actually talking about like real discussions that you can't really escape.
Yeah, but I would really... I'm going to buy the 15th anniversary collection, and I'm not... I just think it's cool.
We ordered 3.
Of course you did.
Also...
Why did you need 3?
Really want, one for me, one for my wife, and one for Alex.
Gotta suck up to the boss, I feel you.
By the way, go to Amazon, whatever. Sign up for their email notifications. They will email you once stock is back up. That happened to me yesterday. I got an email notification because I need one more. And yeah, I got to the email too late. About 6 hours too late. Out of stock. So if you really want a copy, it's your first step.
Well, and it's not going to be out of stock forever.
No.
It'll be fine. They'll make more than enough. Should definitely get it, especially if you're a collector. I think it's important. Ooh, James Earl Jones would make a really good Sour Fang. Actually, James Earl Jones would make a good Thrall.
Nah, Gul'dan, I think.
James Earl Jones is Gul'dan?
Yeah. He just has... He can hit that low note where you could still understand him, but he sounds menacing.
Yeah, like, it's great that people are excited about it. I just don't want to care. I don't care about what happened in the past. I care about what's happening now. And I enjoy Twitter because my news feed is what I control, right? It's my World of Warcraft. It's what's in my control, unlike Facebook, where it's just everybody with political ideas and opinions who never got an education. But I am losing control because everybody that's Warcraft related are now swapping to classic stuff, and it's making me a little crazy. So I've been a little quiet on Twitter, and when I am on Twitter, I'm usually stalking Bajira's new baby, which, congratulations, that baby is adorable.
Congrats. How
How about his wife? This lady looked like she didn't even have a baby right now. She was like picture perfect. She's a warrior. They went through a lot to get pregnant. She went through a lot of really painful hormone stuff, and like, she put her body through the ringer to have a baby, and I'm so happy that the baby was healthy. And he is just, I need to kiss other people's babies because I'm not having my own anymore. So that's the only reason I go on Twitter. Oh, the Heritage Armor. I think we talked about it like a few months ago. We knew Goblins and Worgans were in the near future rotation when they had talked about some patches out. But that's
official now.
It's official now. They are the next for their Heritage Armor, which I think is that's pretty awesome. I think Worgans, are a dying art. I don't see them anymore like I used to.
They were everywhere during Gata.
They were everywhere during Mists of Pandaria, it seemed, too. Even Legion, there was quite a bit. I don't really see a lot of them anymore. Did you guys lose your love for the Worgans?
I've always had a night elf. It's not true. I've had a mage, human mage.
I don't really like the Night Elves either, and don't yell at me, I just don't like it. They do this weird bounce thing when they're AFK or standing there, and it just creeps me out. Ugh, it just creeps me out. So let's talk about PvP. So we're getting ready to wrap this up, but I want to make sure that we talk about the esports. We got PvE and we got some MDI stuff. So imagine, here's Belle sitting on the back porch. My husband comes outside and goes, Snuts, Cloud9, what? I'm like, what do you mean? Say that isn't so. Not a bad thing, right? It's a great thing for Snuts. It's just weird to see him in something that isn't Method. It's not a terrible thing. It's good for him because he got exactly what he needed, which is he's got a big synergy with who he's playing with, and they're all fucking royalty. Why wouldn't they? Like, they're all great players. And they're killing it. Like, Cloud9, they're top 4 Americas right now. And 660 points, that's a pretty fucking swell lead. Like, what else could you ask for? They played superb last tourney. I didn't get a lot of chance to tweet, mostly because my jaw was on the floor, but now one could argue that it was because Snuts was benched. But here's the thing. Sometimes your effectiveness with a team isn't in you playing. I have seen Snuts and how he is with his team, and sometimes just doing what you do is part of your success, and he's a supporter and a motivator and a pusher, and that goes very far. To see him rise from what I'm going to call the ashes, right? And the reason I'm going to say this is because the losses on Snuts and Sea-Doo were much, and it's tough making a decision to split, right? Sometimes it just isn't there for those people, right? You could be 2 excellent players and not have any cohesion. It just is what it is. And they were killer together. I don't think it was enough for either one of them to take it to the next level. So it's going to be really tough at BlizzCon because I love Snuts because he's fucking legendary. And I want him to, like I wanted Sea-Doo to have his win, I want him to have a win. I mean, he's not new to winning shit, but he was going to stop doing tournaments. And it feels so good to see him back in the fucking game and to see his name on my big screen TV during Saturday and Sunday's fucking games. Like, that's my favorite thing because it's nostalgic, and it's like the last little bit of hanging on to the parts that made me love World of Warcraft, right? Because I've lost a lot. You guys have been here with me for fucking 5 years now, and I've lost many things along the way. It's just good. And Thugonomics, man, he's the reason I'm a warlock. He's not the reason I'm a warlock. However, he's the reason I like being a warlock. And when I think of, like, who is the godfather of warlocking, although Snuts is up there, he isn't who I would say. It would 150% be Thug. Because he played Warlock before Warlock was cool. And he was on the ladders with a Destruction Warlock when nobody else was. And that commands some type of respect. So you've got Cloud9 at the top, the boys, and then Method Orange. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know if... I don't think Method is going to take a win this year. I don't feel like they're going to take it. Weirder things have happened, and I'm not being a naysayer, I'm being realistic. They still have that fire, but the fire isn't there like it was last year in that regard. They're going to have to suffer a loss of epic proportions to be able to come back and do it again, because that's the way that they work. It isn't like they go on a high and keep going. They get comfortable in, well, we got to win, so it's cool. But they need that. They need the embarrassing losses because that's what makes them better. Sea-Doo doesn't like to be embarrassed, and Sam I Am doesn't like to embarrass Sea-Doo. So And Mez just wants people to do good. And Trill is just a fucking god. Like, I want to, like, maybe this year at BlizzCon I might actually, you know, go up and shake a hand instead of being
I
the
don't
only.
think you will.
Instead of being the only fucking retard who didn't last year because I was trying to respect their privacy.
I can send a Russian over to get an autograph if you want.
I'm not respecting anybody's privacy. It's not happening. And then for Europe, we've got Method Black, which you can't be mad. You can't be. They got knocked out big time, but I mean, it's Method Black. They're on top for Europe. They're 640 points. Like them and Cloud9. It's gonna be pretty good. Wildcard Gaming changed my mind, rounding out the bottom for the Europe. I don't follow the other. I don't follow the Latin America or the Asias. Are they? Is it Asias? Is that what are they?
You're asking me.
I'm trying not to be racist. The Asias, not the Chineses, but what are they?
We'll just go east.
Yeah, right. The East Asias. I don't know why I keep saying the word Asias. I'm pretty sure I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, we're terrible people.
Yeah, we are terrible. I'm supposed to be getting. I don't know if I'm getting a press pass this year. I was gonna lie and say I'm supposed to be getting, but it's all hearsay. It's hearsay because there's only one person who's still there that was there last year in that department that I know. Everybody else is not there. So I'm going to have to rely on good old Method Juice because it isn't going to be off my good looks because those are fading fast with time and gravity. But if I do get it this year, I'm going to make better use of it and use it to my advantage in terms of being able to get in there and ask questions that I'm not allowed to ask because they don't like you asking questions, which is cool. Why are you showing me this stuff? Fucking classic. Everything in my feed is classic. Classic, classic, classic. Why?
You know we're going to guilt you into it, right?
What?
Classic.
Listen, if I want a way to seriously waste my time, I will go fucking play GTA. Which, not for nothing, I do have fun killing 15-year-olds.
It's going to happen. I promise.
Oh, yeah, that's Resurgent, right? Is the Rated BG's Resurgence thing, or is that GCD TV's juice? I might have missed it in my all the classic shit feed. Can you retweet it to me? Or mention me in the tweet? I can't find it. I want to see that. So I tweeted last week. I need friends. A lot of people messaged, and that was nice. I was dead serious. So if you were one of those people that messaged me, I have planned on getting a handle on that this weekend. But I tweeted I want PvP friends specifically. Not specifically, but I would like a steady group for Battlegrounds. Not RBGs essentially, but like World PvP and that kind of stuff. Like I have my Overwhelming Odds quest. I started to do last night solo and was like, ugh. You really shouldn't just go do a quest like against Overwhelming Odds World PvP by yourself, right? You should really have a friend or several. So I did not. I got one kill and it took several deaths because I was nuked when I landed. I can't even be mad because I do that, right? So I just was like,
See, if you raid more often with us, we could end raid and go kill stuff, but you don't.
Whenever we end raid, you guys go jump in another call and do mythics, so that doesn't sit well or fly with me because I see it and I'm okay with it. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm all right. The whole Twitter, I got a ton of people on Twitter that want to be my friend.
We run our mythics on Saturday, but nice, right?
I don't know. You guys are always in a call running, doing runs after raid on Sunday.
We go to a different Discord.
I didn't say it was my Discord. I see all of you in the same mythics in game. Literally.
Oh yeah, because we have to run it for the other guildies. Actually, that hasn't been true lately though. They've been pretty good about running their own mythics. So that makes me leaving to go watch Game of Thrones, which I regret already, even more easier.
Do you guys remember when you always had like those 3 or 4 people that you always rolled with in game? And even it didn't matter what you guys were doing, like you guys always ended up doing stuff together, and it was literally like, I don't want to say every day, but it was quite often. It was all the time. And you guys rolled together and you did shit. You guys leveled together. You did all those things. Do you guys remember those days?
Yeah, college before I got a job.
I mean, mine was like 7 months ago, but do you remember the feeling of not having that? And does anybody remember how they pulled themselves out of it? This is a question for science, but it's a valid question. Is there recovery?
I mean, yes.
I usually have like a new group if others stop playing or whatever. Like, it's usually a natural organic process, but because I stopped trying to have friends because people are fucking idiots, I ran out, right? Like, there's no one there anymore because I ran out. I got 3 left. That's it. 4, sometimes 6, but that's it. There's no more friends in the friend factory because I'm emotionally incapable of hoe tendencies and liars. Like, essentially, those are the 2 and just being general shit humans. Like, those are the things that I just... But I'm curious as to how other people have handled that. Did you just stop playing? Did you... like, how do you fix it when it isn't, like... I don't know if anybody's ever been emotionally devastated and have their friendships connected to their gameplay in the sense of they were, you know... I made friends because of the game, and that were literally some of my best friends in the world because of the game. It wasn't the other way around where I, you know, brought them and played. Like, so the 2 are connected, right? And that's my emotional, I don't want to say well-being, but dragons do love tacos. I just want to make sure you guys are aware. There's a book over there. But I want to know. Send me a mail. Tell me how
It's not fair what I said earlier, though. Because I still got dip. Alex. Ribs we picked up 2 expansions ago. Then my wife obviously follows me everywhere. We've jumped quite a few servers because that's primarily what we want to do. We want to raid. And it's the only reason why we're still raiding. Like, I hate wiping the same boss over and over, but we just like to clear content. That's our deal. And we stay until the guild breaks up, and unfortunately, like, we've had guilds where husband and wife are running the guild, and we all know how that ends. Or we just have real shitbag who doesn't know what to do with their guild, and they just stop showing up, stop making any events. It sucks, but move on. Find another group. Sometimes you make friends in that group.
And I used to be that guy too. I haven't done a guild event in a long time. I don't know why. I guess I have to talk to Dr. Phil about that. Isn't because I don't want to. I think about the guild all the time.
What are you doing?
I just feel like... I don't know. I don't know if there's a... Did something break inside? Like, how do you even go about identifying it? I'm asking if anybody's a fucking therapist, really. I need a therapist, like ASAP Rocky, because...
Why don't you just go to, like... Why don't you do what every normal human being does? Every normal millennial. Go to WebMD, self-diagnose yourself, go to the clinic or whatever.
I don't know how you break old connections so that you can form new ones. That's really what the problem is. It's breaking the old ones so that I can form new ones.
Just do it. Doesn't have to be like outright. You can just... I don't know. Take it... I don't know. My method of dealing with things is just like I move on. Like if we stop talking for whatever, I'm not going to be less friendly to you or anything. I have another group that I talk with.
So you're saying I'm replaceable? Got it.
Everybody is. I'm
Oh,
replaceable.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. I think that's part of the problem is that when I have connections, they are not replaceable, right? Like you think you can be okay, and like you are for the most part, but the humans aren't replaceable. We were meant to have deeper connections beyond. Take Cody for example. Hots. He was on the show. He was a raider. He lived with me, for crying out loud. I haven't spoken to Cody. I think that we talked 3 months ago on a random. No, it had to be longer than that because it was when I was actually using Facebook because he FaceTimed. But like we randomly Snapchat and stuff. But we don't have to talk all the time for me to know he's my friend.
Yeah.
He flew out here over the weekend for my daughter's graduation.
I mean, yeah, but that's exactly it. You learn to kind of let everybody else be an adult. Like I'm gonna do my own thing. Again, I send you stupid ass text messages all the time.
But isn't that considered effort? As much as you want to pretend like it's not effort?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's effort.
I'm like, oh, this is fucking stupid. Let me go and send this to Belle because she gets it.
But it was still a thought, which is effort. Feels like you're trying to downplay the fact that we're friends.
Yeah, take it as you will.
Feels like you're trying to downplay the fact that we're friends.
I think you've already figured out that I'm pretty much direct. It's either I'm nice envy, or just straight up asshole envy, which comes out great for you.
Asshole envy wouldn't send a random text message because I would appreciate it if. I'm just saying, like, you're trying to talk yourself into something.
That's nice envy, just dealing with whatever envy's dealing with. That envy we don't like.
Nice envy, like those. I would not get a thought about a random person to send them a text message if they were not a value in my life.
If you're saying that it required thought, everything's gonna require thought. Like it's a routine. Like I'm done.
Does anybody else hear how he's trying to pretend?
I'm also trying to explain this while I'm under the influence of THC.
I don't really like phone calls, so him texting me is exactly what I would prefer. If my phone rings, something is wrong. So like when my brother Dominic, my younger brother, calls me, if he calls me, the first thing I say is the baby okay? Because me and my brother don't talk on the phone. We do for like if we're too busy to do birthday or something like that, yes. But I don't do phone calls, and the reason I don't do phone calls is a lot of you know me, and I don't have the mental capacity to be on the phone with all the things I need to multitask. That's the reason I do Zoom, because I can do 50 things while my headset's on, and it's cool. Phone calls are fun. Like I call my mom, and I got my mom one of the Echoes that has video. I got with a little spot, and I'm just not I like the Snapchat for the videos back and forth. Like, I see you calling me, motherfucker. Like, that's something I like to do. But to physically, like, if I don't have the attention span, I don't. It just isn't there. It doesn't exist. But this mofo's trying to pretend like we ain't friends.
I'm just an introvert, as you can tell by the show. But I don't know.
And I just randomly I randomly drive to someone's house to stay Memorial Weekend and ask if they want craft beer for just random people that are just acquaintances in my life.
I was going to ask, to be fair, I was going to ask your husband first, but you confirmed it when you said he drinks Coronas.
I told you, he's a real Mexican. He drinks Corona and lime or Dos Equis.
I'm like, I think I've seen Canelo Alvarez in a Tecate commercial, and your husband totally looks like Canelo Alvarez, so I was like, he might like Tecate. I'll bring some craft Tecate from the great state of Colorado.
We had a special edition of Tecate from Tio. He brought it. That and the Modella question mark? No. Modelo. There we go. He's not really a connoisseur. I like all things, so.
Well, I'm gonna be bringing you this wonderful vanilla porter.
You didn't like my response? It wasn't funny.
I was asleep.
Oh.
But I saw it and went. Basically, one of my pugs.
Yeah. Daughters especially don't like talking on the phone to you, but they love talking on the phone to their friends and gossiping about who wore what, who's sleeping with who broke up with who's cheating on who's trying to outdo who on their Instagram posts.
So you're saying me and Alex are two teenage girls?
Like, I love a good gossip fest, guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like to know the grapes because that shit is interesting. But my daughter will talk to everyone else in the world, and then when I need to say something to her, I can barely get her attention, and she's like, can I call you back? No, you can't. Although my daughter did graduate last week.
How does that feel? How does that make you feel emotionally?
Honestly, seeing like some extended family, and like Donovan even came, if you guys can believe that. Like, I haven't seen Donovan in 6 months. I forgot what he looked like, and he had a Hitler mustache. It was hysterical.
You know, I saw him in that picture, and I'm like, who the hell is that? Oh,
Yeah.
like
He did, and that was nice. Though, to be honest, I would have came too because he knew Cody was flying out. You can't let the other friend fly all the way from Alabama for a graduation and you live in the same state and not make the effort, right? Like, I would never shut up about that. So that was a smart. But it was nice, and it was nice that my ex-husband and my husband are we have like a hybrid kind of life where on holidays, because we've been divorced since my kid was like 7, she doesn't have to choose homes. He comes down here because he's just one person and I'm like 10. You know, he comes down here for Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that, so that she doesn't have to make a choice on parents, right? She hasn't had to do that. And seeing them both stand next to her and love her was like really emotional, because that doesn't happen a lot, and it's very rare for you know, split families to be able to be harmonious. And he stayed the night because he wanted to take her back, because he's going to take her to Utah before I have to pick her up in July, because we have to go to NAU and do stuff anyway. But it was the graduation was like emotional and all that stuff. She was adorable, and I spent $300 in flowers because we forgot flowers, and of course they sell flowers, right? But they sell $50 flowers, and I wanted her to have a ton of them. So the I gave Cody the card and said, "Here, go buy flowers from everybody here." And $300. He was like, "It's $300. That's fine, whatever." And then we had a big dinner. We went to Carrabba's, and it was a nice, you know, it was nice to have everybody together. My daughter and her dad have a little bit of a strained relationship. I don't know why, but I mean, I was with him. I know why, but that's another Dr. Phil session. But it was good for it to be about her, right? And it wasn't about anybody else. And she's a grown-up. She's a literal grown-up. And I realize she's 150% my miniature. I miss her too. I can't pick her up until July because she went to her dad's. But she got all of my good stuff and some of my bad. She's kind of a Mother Hubbard with her friends, and I had to tell her, "Listen, kid, you got to let them live their lives." And she's like, "No, Mom, you don't understand." I'm like, "Yes, I do. It's been me my whole life. Like, you can't. People are going to do what they're going to do. You can't help them." But it was good. It was good. And I did. I talked to Donovan, and Donovan said he was actually in Zoom the other day.
He was. It was a surprise.
He said he was going to, you know, try to make an effort, which is It's what it's, you know, do you.
I promise I'm not going to make an effort.
You made an effort just now when you tried to call my cell phone.
I was just trying to troll you. Dude. I don't care. It's stupid.
It's so funny. But, you know, it was emotional for a different set of reasons. And it was good. It was good that I got to celebrate her. I don't know what she's going to do with her life, but she's got a good head on her shoulders. And
it sounds like reality's just hitting you.
it feels like
Visual representation, maybe?
Like, just yesterday, I feel like she was just a baby in my arms, right? Like, and I'm teaching her how to do these things, and she's literally a full-grown person, and she's fucking smart. And I don't know, like, when you're in the thick of raising, especially girls, you don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? You see gray hair, and you see wrinkles, and you have heartburn, and sometimes there's diarrhea, guys. It just is what it is. And you get to, and it isn't even the end, right? This is just the very beginning, because she's going to college, and college is, I want her to have the traditional college experience. I want her to live on campus, at least for just a year. If she chooses to walk a different path after that, like, that's fine. But I want her to have, you know, I told her maybe go see if she likes Greek life. Like, I want you to have just a little bit of the traditional, what I think most would call the American dream. And I know that that's really lame, right? Because who really does those things anymore? But I want her to have that, you know, I want her to have that experience. And I don't know, it was good. It was emotional, but it was good. I don't know. Awesome. We'll talk about it when I drop her off at school. Because my husband and I agree that the graduation's emotional and all of that, but driving and leaving your kid 3 hours away to school is, man. But, so, the MDI, before we go, because I am going to wrap up real quick. West, we have, wait, is that, oh, yeah. Oh. Wasn't Abracadabra third last time I did standings too?
No, they were second.
So Method EU, Method NA, and Abracadabra are first, second, and third for West. And then for East, you have Battle for Champions, Team D, and...
Every time.
I'm so immature. Buff War Nerf Rogue at third, which I don't think much has changed with East.
No, it doesn't look like it.
I think those are pretty much the same. As we're rounding out, I was going to talk about the week in WoW, but we pretty much talked about what we did in WoW already throughout the show. So let's get some thoughts on the new cinematic. And if you didn't watch the new cinematic, I can't help you. I'm not going to avoid spoilers. I'm not going to not talk about it. I just want to get thoughts and feelings. And I'm pretty sure we're 2 weeks behind in the cinematic, aren't we?
We are. Just wanted to bring it up anyway.
No, but I make, like, it isn't anything that, like, people should be worried about being spoiled, right?
You've had plenty time to watch it.
How did you feel about the cinematic? Because you're not emotional, and you don't really make an effort, and all those things that we just talked about.
I'm very analytical, so I'm, like, literally, like, watching this video, and Alex is, like, nearby. I'm like, I'm reading this as Sourfang is, like, the Blizzard executives coming up. I'm like, do you know what Activision did to us? I don't want to lead it anymore. I didn't ask, but I was hoping you would help us. That's how I read it. Other than that, like, what the hell Sylvanas doing? She's crazy. Was that even Sylvanas who sent the assassins? Raises questions. I don't. It's good to see another CGI video though, but again, it's like you raise more questions than you actually answer any.
Like, so you mean to tell me throughout all of this bullshit, Thrall's been out there fucking chopping wood and farming?
He got hella buff though.
You mean to tell me while we have literally been fucking fighting all of the scum of the fucking this side of the cosmos, we've been fighting every scum that exists, you are just in the fucking countryside milking cows and chopping wood?
He was on Outland, yes.
That wasn't a grand, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. What are you doing? Literally, the whole world is falling apart. There's a giant sword in the middle of our planet. Like, I don't know if you've been to Silithus lately there, Thrall, but, like, shit's going down. And you're just chopping wood in the countryside.
I mean, you could use the same argument with Kadgar. Like, what the hell is he doing to
Where
try to
is...
help
Yeah,
stop this?
where is he, though?
He's probably branding it up as a freaking crow somewhere.
He's probably surfing fucking porn. Is what he's probably doing. But I loved that Thrall had to be talked to. I think that was important. I think it's good when who we view as very large, authoritative figures to need a good reality check, right? Like a good backhand every now and then. I think that makes the story really compelling. In terms of Sylvanas, I'm still bitter over the whole Bane stuff from the war campaign. Like, that irritated me. But
Can't we all just get along?
like, who the fuck does she think she is?
The leader of the war chief?
What makes it even worse, though, is that
The Horde? The
that
war
everybody
chief of the
that answers to her, very few are questioning it, right? So it's a shame to
She is a
see.
Banshee queen.
It's a shame to see a race of warriors that are true warriors. I would say more warriors than Alliance, and I'm Alliance, by the way, but when I think of a warrior, like a true warrior, I would think of Horde in that manner, because their whole life has been fighting, essentially, right?
Fair.
Why are there only a few people questioning it? Why aren't there more people? Why are they just blindly following orders?
Because they're soldiers, first and foremost.
I think that that's a cop-out.
The orcs are very much... A lot of them still have that bloodlust. So
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that.
Then you got Seraphim, who actually adds a clue, and other orcs, yeah, but you got the minority and the majority. The majority wants blood.
Do you think Thrall's going to be the leader of the Horde?
Probably not.
I'm thinking, like, I think we've probably figured out right now that the way that they're going, they're pretty much setting up Sourfang to be leader. So I wonder if Thrall being introduced here is the way that Thrall's going to make that happen, because, he sees that this should be the leader of Horde. And are we going to kill her? Because I really think we are. I know nobody believes that we're going to kill her, but I really believe that we are going to kill her.
That I don't know. For during the beginning of the expansion, yeah, I for sure thought we were going to kill her.
I don't think Alliance is going to kill her. I think she's going to die by her own.
I think I think we probably will kill her. I think N'Zoth is going to have a hand in it, though.
I think she's going to die from Horde.
I say we as a collective, Alliance and Horde.
Maybe, but I think the final killing blow will be by Horde. Because I don't know, like, if they ever have plans on Horde and Alliance being friends again in the future for future expansions. Like, you guys know my whole theory about us going to, another planet. Like, I have this big theory. I don't know that anybody could, like, have we forgiven for, like, our leader dying, even though like, we know that it wasn't their fault, and Sylvanas came to help, and, like, we saw all of those things. But, like, could we just be friends with the Burning Legion that just killed, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would have to come from within, and I think it would also make the story more compelling versus it just being, the Alliance eradicated the threat. I think it would be more compelling if it was probably the most unsuspected person that would kill her.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it were Gen, but he is the most obvious candidate, though.
Who would be the least suspecting but the most worthy of killing her? In terms of, like, it being an epic...
Are we talking both Alliance and Horde, or just
Horde?
Shit, what the hell's her name? Zappy Boy would be a good one, actually. Lady Leandry, the Blood Queen, or not the Blood Queen, the Blood Knight leader.
Hmm.
Because she's still driven by the light. She may be misguided a bit, but Leandrin, thank you.
It'd be really great if it was the Troll Princess. I really like her.
I think she probably could, but I think she's probably looking for blood right now after the death of her father.
Yeah.
So she's probably going to be engulfed in grief and hatred. I could be wrong, though. I don't play Horde.
I definitely think we're killing her. I don't think she survives this expansion. I'll be really surprised. I don't think it's going to be a question of she's fleeing and, we deal with her like, some of these other guys that have just disappeared for 2 expansions and then we see them. Like, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I don't think she's going to escape at the end of this expansion. It might even be maybe the precursor to the next one. I don't really see her surviving.
No. It'd be interesting to see where they're going to take the story, with her especially. Because I'm pretty sure that her death is going to lead to the Void. And I brought this up the last time we had a show. The Star Augur guy, he opened up like different views during that fight. And in one of them was a void engulfed world. And the closest we've gotten to that is, a void elf. Near that world. So Bolver would be a good one, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Well, I think that's kind of the assumption because he's been mentioned a few times in randomness in the world in Warcraft. So I think, I don't know. We're at a time where we're laying to rest old foes, right? And technically Sylvanas isn't a foe. Not in terms of the full story, right? Because she's only a villain because she's a cunt. But, like, she's been made into what she is, right? She just didn't wake up one day and decide, I wanted to be this thing. That just is what it is. And I view her as a villain only because she's a villain in my story, from where I stand. But she isn't, like, the large villain. But they've been laying to rest a lot of these villains that we've battled from expansion to expansion, just different variations. And I think the Old Gods is... Everybody's been saying, like, it's endgame stuff. I wouldn't say it endgame. I would say end of days. Which means a new beginning, right? Which is what we've been talking about. Like you said about the Star Augur showing the different worlds and some of the things that have been kind of a precursor to letting us know that I don't think we're going to be here very long. But I do think that I don't know as a people we can beat an old god.
Well, you can't truly kill an old god without destroying the world.
Correct. You can imprison them, but what have we learned? Fishes will swim. And they'll creepily come at you when you're high as fuck at 2 a.m. in the middle of the goddamn ocean trying to give you propositions and shit. Because that's what, of all the things he chose to be in the ocean, he chose to be a fish. That's fucking weird. But it's food for thought. It's something to think about. We always figure it out, like we see the signs that we missed after, right? Because hindsight's 20/20. It's nice to have that kind of vision now to see where we're going. And where the fuck is Anduin right now?
Probably trying to seduce, what's her name, Talia?
Well, he needs to get laid, really, and he needs to put a ring on it, though, because he can't have a bastard child, as he won't inherit the kingdom. If the Elizabethan period has not taught us anything, ladies and gentlemen, is you need a legitimate heir, okay? It doesn't work if you are technically a bastard. I'm not calling anybody a bastard, I'm just saying. So, yeah, Illyria, she's doing void things, isn't she? Isn't she with Kadgar?
Illyria?
Pretty sure she's
she's the Void Elf now.
Yeah, she was, I don't remember the last cinematic we had. Well, we're on the cusp of new content because 8.2 should bring some more war campaign. Which, again, I thought we were going to see 8.2 this month, but I guess that was a lie. So the 77-day cycle shit is a lie then.
I'm pretty sure they put it in there as a troll, too.
That's probably true. Maybe they weren't ready. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be smoking. Maybe it'll be smoking.
I can't wait. A new raid is much needed. And I would love to see the...
Oh, it's next Tuesday, but we didn't get an announcement. We would have gotten an announcement. Maybe we're going to see an announcement next Tuesday on the patch.
It'd be like a quest.
It's been in beta or it's been on PTR for like a month, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I need to go stock what's in there. I can usually tell by the content they're rolling out. You hear him when you log in, you hear him jabbering?
Oh yeah, that quest that you do that leads you to the Crucible Storms. You get a buff from Zoth and he just talks to you.
Oh, that's... I haven't done that. Where do I need to pick up that quest? That's what I was actually going to do yesterday and I forgot.
Go to any of the assaults where the Nagas are at. It's a dragon. It's dragon quality quest.
Oh, yeah.
2,000 rather.
I'll go, I'll log in after this, after I eat something and see if I can... that was on my list yesterday, but I forgot what I was, like, that was one of the things that was on my focus list, and I got the quest because there was one up in Storm Song, and so, Kickstarter for DitchCon. I'm super late. This shit should have been done the first week of May and already out, so what does this mean? The Kickstarter is I'm looking to have at least the Kickstarter live. The problem and the only reason why I've waited for the Kickstarter is because I was trying to refine some of the art. But I realized I'm just going to throw up the sketches and concepts I have. Now I need to finish the teaser. Once I do the teaser, I can't have the Kickstarter without the teaser because I want people to know what it's about. If you are patiently waiting, it's going to be Wednesday, the week of BlizzCon, so take notes. Save your monies because I need them. I'm only going to be able to do a 30-day Kickstarter. And although it isn't a ton of money, like Come Before the Storm funded 24 hours after they started, but they have Wowhead juice. I don't got Wowhead juice. I have just plain old me juice. That sounded really weird. Gonna bottle that up and sell it for the Kickstarter. $20 is $20. Save your pennies because I need them. Badly because I need them.
I'm choosing to let that one go.
I'm really scared about a 30-day Kickstarter because I've always done a 60-day and I'm a little afraid. So save your money. And Chaos, don't lower your pledge, okay? I love you. You either, Donovan. I know you were creeping and watching. Don't. So, save your pennies. Listen, the baby will be fine with you throwing pennies. I'm also your boss. I control your bonus, so let's see how we can leverage that as a bonus factor.
Damn.
Just kidding. Guys, I'm a fair boss. I'm a fair boss. Save your monies. I'll look at having it launched this weekend. You guys are the only ones in the world that know the theme. No one else knows. I'm working on it. That's what I was working on last night. Hopefully I'll have it done by the weekend. And pray to God. As long as I get money by July, I can order and do everything in the time I need to do it. So that's why I got to do a 30-day. But a lot of you have asked. A lot of people have PM'd me here in Discord. I'm just one human and I don't have a graphic person. I'm the guy. So it has to wait for me to get done with work. And then by the time I get done with work, mentally, nothing's clicking. So it's going to happen this weekend. Anyway. What a show. Envy, you survived that whole show sitting upright.
I'm struggling right now. You have no idea. I won't be able to make it to DitchCon this year.
I'll fucking
I'm
kill
driving
you.
in.
I'll fucking kill you.
I'm driving from Colorado to California. It's not a fun drive.
Listen, it's going to be a really good DitchCon. I'm really excited. I have lots of good things in my brain, and it's different. Not everything being World of Warcraft themed. Like, that's always been my focus every year. So this year, while it is in some of the art, because it's villains, that's why I said I was looking at Joker pictures yesterday. I was tapping into some of my favorite villains to get creativity for the teaser. I know what I need to do. I just need to package it up. And I wanted to, because we're going to celebrate. I want it to be, ominous, but I also want it to be a celebration of being bad, because sometimes it's good to be bad. So anyway, save your pennies, and you have a Club Tito's party. I'll fucking set you on fire.
Club Tito's party.
Save your money, because I'm going to need all of it. Not all of it, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and make sure you take pictures of the event, because I would like to see it.
Who's in chat? You know what I might be able to do? Well, the thing is then other people can see it. Whoever's in chat, you should be in our Discord. Send me a PM in Discord. I'm going to send you the 2 t-shirt concepts because they need a focus group. Just need a focus group. So just send me a PM in Discord. Not on Twitter or Twitch, because I don't even know how to check my whispers on Twitch. Did I not show you already? I'm a fucking retard. All right, guys. I gotta let Envy go, because in the next 5 minutes, he's gonna be on the floor. I just want you to know. So, if you see behind him, which I don't know if it captures, let me look. Oh, it doesn't capture. So, behind him, which it's not in his box because I cropped the boxes, there's a bathroom behind him. And when he gets done with the show, he goes into that bathroom and the door's open. I can't see anything because it's like an angle. He just pisses in the wind. Doesn't even mind. He just pees. Door open, light on. And now we are going to leave you with the pug.
Hey. Don't even think about it, fucker. You are not a bird of prey.
I don't know what he's doing. Did you make him mad?
I did.
That is hysterical. Why is he mad at you?
He just is. I'll bring the better pug.
Is that Brandy?
That is Brandy. Named after the drink, fellas.
If you do the Discord command, Moobot should output the Discord link for you. That is amazing. We're going to have to... She's going to sneeze in your mouth.
Again.
So, I'm going to leave you guys with the pug pictures. And if you guys follow on Snapchat, you'll see all the pictures of the fuckery that's going to ensue this weekend, including there's going to be some smoking happening. And I'm not talking about the greens. I'm talking about the meats. Don't make it weird.
I can't wait. And the greens, actually, you're not wrong there.
We're just illegal. We're just going to be illegal.
I can't wait to have some quality time with your husband there.
Better you than me. I need a break, so handle it. Guys, thanks for watching. Sorry we didn't make it last week. Honestly,
being an adult sucks.
it really does. Like, when we hang up, I'm going to go potty. Then I'm going to turn on my computer. I'm going to finish where I left off so I don't forget, because I'm in the middle of doing things. And then I'm going to go get that, see if I could get that quest knocked out for Crucible, because I'd like to hear the creepy whispers and eat. But it's not fun. I'm almost done. This project is supposed to be done by the end of June. Like, it's supposed to be off my plate, and this is the bulk of the reason I'm so busy. So I'm really hoping my life kind of normals out, but still here, kind of.
Hey, Chaos. I will give him a kiss for you. I'll pretend it's you two.
Oh my. So, if you PM'd me in Discord, give me a few minutes after show, because I gotta pee. Envy knows I pee out every hour on the hour, and it's been almost 2 hours and I haven't peed yet. So.
And you had a beer.
2. That was my second, and now I have Sprite. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a friend. Thanks for being a part of what we do. Thank you for your future support of DitchCon. And I may have to sell Gabe. I mean, Envy.
Nah, yeah.
Y'all tweet to Saucid and ask if he was asleep, because he's rude.
Probably was.
Love you all. Where'd the pug go? I'm going to do the outro. Where'd the pug go? Oh, it doesn't matter. And it's still just me and damn Donovan on the outro. I fail.
There you go.
He really is mad at you. Does he not like to be picked up? Oh, he's so fierce.
You know, bugs can kill lions, right?
Yeah, pugs can kill the flies on the lion. He's a feisty little sumbitch.
You want to get fat fucker or not? Shut the fuck up.
He's tough. Let him be tough. Grr.
He's like, I don't know what the hell he is. Oh, he's shitting on the carpet is what he's doing.
Oh, your wife's gonna be so mad, dude. You better clean that shit up before she gets home.
Fuck the life. Well, it was a pleasure, y'all. I'm gonna
Go clean up
Don't
shit.
Go clean up
You
dog
better.
shit.
Your wife's gonna be mad as fuck if she comes home to shit on the floor.
My perky pug, y'all. Fucking little asshole.
We gotta
3
go.
bucks.
There's some shit on the floor. We gotta go, folks.